Is live on radio in the Gambia, 92.1 FM, online, www.wcr.gm. We're now joined by Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services. Doctor, good to have you back. You were not here last week. Tell us where you were and what was going on there.
I was in Johannesburg. I attended a forum on Global South Media and Think Tank Corporation.
No,
it's part of the job.
That's part of the job.
No, it's not
so, I mean, what's the most significant thing to emerge from that meeting?
Well, actually, it was a convergence of policymakers, media practitioners, and also academia to discuss emerging issues that can either bring opportunities for media and think tank development, but also challenges as well. We are living in the era of new technology, and new technology like artificial intelligence come with challenges, but also opportunities. Now, how do we harness these new tools to become opportunities rather than challenges? And it's important that we speak at the global south level, because you remember most of these technologies are made in the West, and global south are mostly consumers. And being a consumer, sometimes we are disadvantaged. How do we now position ourselves as global south? We have our own narratives, tell our own story, cooperate at the global south level so that we can be able to harness these technologies, not only as consumers, but also as inventors of these technologies that also speak to our context, that also can embed our languages as well. Because if you look at most of these technologies, they are the languages of the West. They are embedded with the values of the West, and sometimes this is a disadvantage.
So presently, how does the Global South view AI? As a challenge or an opportunity?
I think it's both. It's a challenge. In my field, it's a challenge because it leads to the mass proliferation of disinformation and misinformation. We've seen what AI is doing online, and creating a threat to social stability, but also undermining our democratic principles. But on the other hand, it's an opportunity if used well. It can make your job easy. So we try to see how we can harness it at the global south level. So the global south speaks. We don't want to see ourselves on the peripheries of global development anymore. We want to be in the core. We want to be on the driving seat at the global south level. So it's important global south countries meet to discuss emerging issues, to also make sure that how do we cooperate at the global level so that we don't become just bystanders standing on the fringes, but also we are at the core, on the thick of things.
So it will only be beneficial if used well. What will it take for us in the Gambia, for instance, to use AI well? And what role do you see the government playing?
Regulation. We need to come up with we need legislature. Currently, many countries are behind in terms of regulating AI or coming up with legislature. I know that the EU is working on it now, the AI Act. What do we do? Because the nature of AI and these technologies, they transcend borders. Therefore, countries cannot be able to. It's not for countries to make laws that only suit them. It's important to talk at the regional level. Because remember, you engage big tech companies, and these tech companies are global companies. A small country like the Gambia cannot engage tech companies at their own advantage. We need to work at the regional or sub-regional level. But what is important to use it, to harness it wisely, is proper regulation, proper education, but also proper advocacy in terms of showing the population what they can do with it that can undermine stability, but also how it can also advantage them. It can create jobs. Some will think that it's going to take jobs away from us.
But it will take jobs away.
It will take, but it also has opportunities to create jobs as well. So how do we now align our curriculum to make sure that now, while we live in a different world, we live in the world of AI, in the world of robotics, in the world of big machines, how do we now, world of big data, how do we now align our education system to know that the world is changing? We cannot stay back in education that was in the 80s and 90s. The education I had in the 90s, 80s, is not fit for the for this world. It's
if you say that for your education in the 80s and 90s, what about my education?
In the 70s, exactly. So we have to think ahead, and that is what this government is doing. That is why our policies, our regulations are aligned towards this. We take AI seriously. The Ministry of Digital Economy is working towards these regulations to make sure that AI is regulated. This is why we take part in these global forums to make sure that we also we get best practices from other parts of the world.
Fantastic. So this was a very important meeting that you attended
Indeed.
in South Africa. All right. Let's now hear, the latest developments in government communication and policy.
Well, I think the first one has to do with the Kotu-BB bridge.
Okay.
If you recall, recently we saw an online post when drivers were complaining that the bridge is out of use. It is true, the bridge is out of use. It is under construction. The bridge was assessed and realized that it has defects, and therefore it wasn't safe for use. So what the government did was that they created an alternative route to the cost of about $15 to $20 million. That is from Fajara Hotel all the way to BB is fully high quality concrete. So we urge drivers to use that route as an alternative route, as a diversion to access BB Hotel, Combo Beach Hotel, and other hospitality facilities in that area. Now the bridge for now is being assessed. The consultant, work is ongoing. So it's going to take less than 1 year to create a proper bridge. But for now, we urge drivers, pedestrians, and all those who want to access the hotel facilities around the BB, Kotu, Combo Beach, those facilities, to take the Fajara route, because that's a new road that the government built to the tune of almost $15 million, so that people
50 or 15?
15, between 15 and $20 million. And what we've observed is that drivers will drop off their customers at the foot of the bridge and tell them to walk through. It's dangerous. Let them not do it. Let them use the diversion. That is why the government invested in that diversion. So pedestrians and drivers who want to access these facilities, hotel facilities, can use that diversion. It's not far. You just go to Fajara Beach and then you go down. You can access these facilities using that. Now, the second one has to do with the tour. We all know the president is on tour. It's a constitutionally mandated tour. I've seen a lot of debate online, people questioning the value of this tour. It's a democracy.
The value is different from constitutionality of the tour.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you emphasize it's a constitutional
but not only that, but also it gives the president first-hand information and the opportunity to interface and interact with the citizens.
That's why the Constitution, mandated
exactly.
it. I think your issue here is the value, the cost, to the taxpayer.
But it's valueless. Having a president going to up country, from town to town, region to region, talking to people, interacting with them, no money can really appreciate that. It is valueless. That's priceless. That doesn't happen. In fact, when I was talking to a friend in Liberia, a deputy minister in Liberia, and I told him that the president is on tour. He was like, "Wow, this is amazing. We wish we could also do that in Liberia." Countries are trying to emulate what we are having in Gambia as a constitution for the president, at least once a year, to go and meet the people, interact with them, interface with them, listen to their concerns, but also they can hold him accountable. That is something which is priceless. Nobody can put a price tag on that. So, but what is important is that the president is now 1 week into the annual Meet the People tour, which commenced in North Bank region, and the tour had two aspects. One is inspection of ongoing works. Two is meeting the people and having interactions with them. The president inspected key development sites, including the FAB maternity unit at SL District Hospital, the Bangali Nawek substation, and other strategic infrastructure like road infrastructure, vocational education infrastructure, and health infrastructure. In Salikenye, he visited Bani Salikenye Road, which was a vital road that links those communities, which is almost done, followed by a tour of the Jar Oil cement factory at Bereto. So Jar Oil is constructing a cement factory to ensure that we have enough supply of cement, but also the price is also affordable. The Africa 50 headquarters was also inspected. The Farafan General Hospital, there also the FAB, that is the Fatoumata Barrow Foundation, is also building a maternity unit there, but also the Wasu Agro Logistics Center. In URR and CRR, he assessed progress on the URR governor's residence and the office complex and the development of new regional boreholes as well. We've also provided a lot of water to communities, and the president during his tours either handed over keys or inspected much of the water infrastructure which is being built up country as well. Now, the president also held community meetings in Makabalamane, in Nyomi, in Farafenye, in Darumbayen, in Sanunding, in Sare Pirasu, in Sandu Kurao Arfang, in Baja Kunda, in Mahmud Fana, and in Sarengai. The next leg now of the tour will be LRR, which will commence today in Jara, tomorrow he'll be in Kiang, whereby now after that he'll cross over to Kalaji to come to West Coast region. He'll be received tomorrow at Kalaji by a huge crowd to accompany him to come to Banjul. Then Thursday, Friday is rest day. Saturday we'll do the Fonyi. Sunday we'll do Brikama. And then we'll do KM and Banjul, and the tour will end.
You said that people are commenting about the value of the Meet the People tour, but they're also saying that it's been turned from a tour to understand the needs of the people, their development needs, into a political event. The opposition are saying,
where do you draw the line? The same opposition that is saying this will be the same opposition that will do the same tour when they come to power. Now, where do you draw the line between politics? As what I've seen in the tour is that people who are not aligned with the NPP or the allied parties are given the platform to say what they want to say, to hold government accountable. Yesterday, a VDC officer told the president in CRR South about unfulfilled promises.
Oh, there are unfulfilled promises?
That is what he said. Perhaps, and also sometimes it's patience. Because if a government says we are going to build a road, you don't just wake up and go and build the road. It takes time to build a road. You need to contract it. It needs to follow procedure. So sometimes, people, quite understandably, people can be impatient, particularly if for 60 years you don't have a road or water infrastructure or electricity, and government says we are building it, but you've seen that government is doing it, so sometimes they can be impatient. But what I've seen in this tour is I've seen people who are not allied to the NPP, allied to the ruling government or its allied parties, being given the platform, holding government accountable. So I don't see that as politics. But sometimes it's difficult to draw, there's a fine line between politics and, you cannot divorce politics. I've said it last year here. You cannot divorce politics from the tour because the whole state is about politics. What is politics? Tour is not politicized to favor the incumbent.
That's what the opposition is saying.
Well, that is false.
Exactly that.
That is false.
Okay. You say that the same opposition will come into power and they'll do the same thing.
They'll do the same thing.
Well, not if Talib becomes the president, because he has told us what he will do with it. All right? He won't go against the Constitution. It's constitutionally mandated. He will do it. But he won't do it the way it's been done since Jawara right through to Jammeh and now Barrow. According to him, what he will do will be town halls. So he will gather people at a strategic location, all right, address them, and move on. Not from village
that is even worse.
That is worse?
Of course, because he'll address and move on. It means you're not even talking, you're not interacting with the people. You'll come and tell and speak to them and go. No. But you said he will address them and move on.
Yes, and interact with them.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that what's the difference between, you see, sometimes when I listen to people like Talib and his ilk, they don't understand what's happening in this country. That is the unfortunate bit of it. You see, they watch a lot of movies and a lot of Western films.
No, Talib is part of the government of this country.
But anybody who tells me that, if you become president, you will reform the Meet the People's tour in a manner in which you'll go town halls, it means you don't understand what the people themselves want.
So you're saying that is not possible?
It's not, because that's not what the people want. You do what the people want, not what you want. The tour is for the people. If the people say, we want you to come and have a rally with us and we'll interact and sit, that's what they want. And sometimes our people need to listen to the people. You don't sit and have your ideas. Well, that is why I say they will do the same thing, because when you get into power and you start, you'll realize that this is what they want. This is what they appreciate. You cannot impose on them these town halls. These are all things done in the U.S. U.S. done town halls. It fits U.S. context. It fits U.S. democracy. It fits U.S. culture and society. These are town halls there. For us, the people from independence, what they want is this. And you have to give it to them. Otherwise, you are depriving them of what they want. So if Talib comes and says, when I come to power, I'll do this. And unfortunately, I've heard Talib say a lot of things which I know is all politics. For example, I heard him say, this movement is for Gambians. No, this movement is for the Bensouda family.
Hello?
And of course, yes. I mean, sometimes...
Is everybody in that movement a Bensouda?
No, it's to benefit the Bensouda family and not Gambians. Gambians are being used as a stepping stone to get to power. And when they speak and say this movement is for Gambians, no, it is not for Gambians. It is using Gambians to benefit the Bensouda family to get to power. And Gambians are not sleeping and they are awake and they won't succumb to those kind of promises.
So you're suggesting that if Talib becomes president, then he'll surround himself with the Bensouda family first.
And a cabal of ruthless capitalists who will drain this country of its resources, leaving the poor people to starve. That I can guarantee you. I swear, Peter. I'm warning Gambians.
Swear?
Yes, I'm warning Gambians. If they mistakenly, in a grave manner, vote people like Talib and his ilk to power in this country, it will be the greatest mistake in contemporary politics. And the biggest conundrum for me is, and this is the biggest conundrum for me, I was watching someone online the weekend. This man is one of the architects of UMC. One of the people who convinced the Talib to divorce and betray UDP to go and form his own party because they believe that Talib has a chance to win if he leaves the UDP. This is the same guy who, during the weekend, when he was hit with reality after seeing what he saw in the tour, says, well, what I want is for UMC and UDP to go to Kaur for 3 days and have a retreat.
Who's this guy?
And come out and say, we are forming an alliance. I mean, this is the... I've never heard such a contradiction in my life. You convinced Talib to leave the UDP because you believe Talib is better off leaving the UDP because he can make it without the UDP. And you misled the boy. And when he came out and formed a movement, no movement has won an election in the African continent. It's never happened before. Now, you bring a movement, you tell him to go on his own, and when reality hits you, you realize that you've put the boy to failure. You've put him on a path to failure. And now you are backtracking and saying, oh, how I wish UDP and UMC can go to Kaur. There's a hotel in Kaur. He mentioned the name of the hotel. They can be there and lock themselves for 3 days and have a retreat and trash out their differences. There was no difference before. You manufactured the difference. You engineered the difference. And so when they come out, they'll hold their hands like this and they walk and say, we are having an alliance. No questions asked. I was like, they've misled the boy.
Who's this he?
Musa Jeng.
Yeah, that's more like Dr. Ceesay. No, I mean, okay. You seem to be confirming what 2 weeks ago you denied. You remember when I said to you, Hamad Ba said that, Talib is the biggest threat, or UMC is the biggest threat to President Barrow's re-election. You dismissed it outright.
Of course, and I still dismiss it. The only reason I'm mentioning him because you mentioned it. In fact, when I was coming here, I was like, I'm going to avoid anything that has to do with UMC. But you started the talk about Talib.
Yeah, because he is going to revolutionize the Meet the People.
He says he will. He is not going to. Now you are confirming that for him. You said he is going to. It means you agree that you believe that he's going to do it. He said he will.
Okay, he said he will. Revolutionize it.
It's politics.
All right. Okay.
It's politics.
Earlier on, you spoke about value. How much will it cost the taxpayer this store this year? We know in 2026 it could go up to 52 million.
So it could go up to. There's a difference between what is budgeted and what is used. If it's budgeted, and if it says it's budgeted, 52 million is budgeted, it means that because the Constitution says that the president should at least once a year. And sometimes it could be 2. Yeah. When it's budgeted,
at least it's clear.
Exactly. So when it's budgeted, 2 is budgeted for. It doesn't mean that we are going to use all that money. For now, the tour is on. We would only know the balance sheet after the tour. For now, it's unfair for people to say 52 million is being used. No, the 52 million is put aside to cater for at least one tour. It could be 2. Whatever it is for that 52. Now, it doesn't mean we are going to use all 52 million if that is what is budgeted for. It means that, so now when the balance sheet is done after the tour, we'll know exactly how much. It could be 15, it could be 10, we don't know for now. So it's unfair for people to jump ahead and say that it's 52 million we are wasting. But like I said, and I still maintain that, this tour is priceless. Even if it's $500 million, it is worth it because what it does is something that money can't buy. It's something that money can't give. It's the president going to, and remember also, like I said, there's a hidden aspect of the tour that people don't see.
Which is?
It's when the president wakes up in the morning up to the time of he leaving the house to go to the tour, he's meeting different communities from different parts of the region where he is. Meetings after meetings, groups after groups, youth groups, women groups, senior citizens, different groups, meeting them, talking to them, solving their problems. Some of these problems are private problems. Some of these problems are community problems. He's solving these problems.
Private problems of what?
No, not that. Some people want to build. They are building a mosque, some community, and the mosque is not done yet. Some community have a garden. They want to finish their garden. Some women. He's doing these things on a daily basis, and these are the hidden aspects of the tour. That is why I'm saying that the tour is priceless, and nobody can put a price tag on this tour. Okay. What people see is what they see on the cameras. The president inspecting infrastructure projects going on, the president having a tour and talking with the citizens. What they don't see is the hidden aspect. That is the backdoor meetings the president has with different groups across the country, help solve some of their problems, listen to them, understand how they are feeling, what their aspirations are, what their challenges are. That is priceless, and that happens only in the Gambia. And now, a town hall is monotonous. You come, I mean, we don't even have the infrastructure for a town hall. That is why I say the thinking is Western. The infrastructure for a town hall. You go to, let's say you go to Salikenye. Which hall is there to do your town hall? Which big hall can accommodate all those people who want to come and listen to you?
He will know that Salikenye does not have a big hall, so he won't plan his town hall for Salikenye.
So where will he plan it in URR? Where? Which hall in URR is big enough to get all the people of Nyomi, Lower Nyomi, Upper Nyomi, Jokado? Let's start with North Bank, Lower, because the meetings are that they have in the meeting they had in the first one is Lower Nyomi, Upper Nyomi, Jokado. Which hall in that area can accommodate all the people who want to come and tell you their problems? Which hall?
Don't they have a stadium, a football field?
See, sometimes when I listen to these boys, I laugh because they don't understand what's happening in this country.
Okay, you understand.
And it's unfortunate that they want to run this country. They don't understand the people. When you want to govern a people, you need to know who those people are and what they want and what their aspirations are.
All right. Let's talk about controversies. I mean, meet the people, meet the farmers, whatever name it has, gone by in the past to this day, have always been associated with controversies. And I'm reading in some of the newspapers headlines about a crocodile gift to President Barrow. The Voice, for instance, says crocodile gift to President Barrow sparks outrage and legal concerns. The Standard, environmentalists condemn killing of crocodile gift to Barrow. What do you know about? What do you know about this crocodile?
They have to apologize to the president.
They have to apologize?
Of course. All these people, these airlines have to apologize to the president. I'll tell you two things, Peter. Three things, for example. First of all, I cannot go into the detail of this specific case. I don't have the full information.
But a crocodile was involved? Or a crocodile is involved?
Yes, just give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
And it will be clear.
Take 2 minutes.
I cannot go into the specific details. I don't have the full information. So I cannot, because I was out of town. I came back a couple of hours ago. I need to get the full information. Now, and I believe also that the people who are running around making these statements don't have the full information as well. That's what I believe in. But one thing also, the second thing is that I can promise Gambians and I can tell them that the president is committed and has a very strong commitment to the Gambia's Wildlife Conservation Act, but also the Biodiversity and Wildlife Act. The president has a commitment to implement these laws, but also the president has a commitment to the Banjul Declaration as well. Now, if you see a crocodile, what I've seen is what many people saw. A crocodile on top of a car with some people. Did anybody see the president receive the crocodile? Can you show me a picture, a video where the president was there to receive a crocodile and you are calling a gift to the president? All I saw, that's why I don't have the details. I didn't get the details. I want to know whether the president received the crocodile. I want to know whether he asked them to bring a crocodile for him as a gift. All I saw is a crocodile on top of a car with some people. The people I don't even know. I didn't see anybody there who is a co-inac.
Was it a live crocodile or a dead one?
That's why I don't even know. And people are saying they killed a crocodile. We don't know. All we saw is a crocodile. I don't know whether it's a dead crocodile or a live crocodile. It's alive. I don't know whether the president received the crocodile or not. And nobody can tell me up till today whether the president asked the people to come get this crocodile for him. So why do you accuse the president of receiving a gift when you have not seen the president receive a gift? If I say Peter received a gift from Dr. Ceesay, all you see is Dr. Ceesay outside Peter Gomez's office holding a mobile phone. But did he really give the mobile phone to Peter? did Peter ask for this mobile phone? So they have to apologize to the president and get the facts first before they speak. I am not speaking on this issue because I don't have the facts. I want to know whether this gift was indeed given to the president, under what circumstances, what was the context. If I don't have that, I cannot speak for it. But as far as I know, and that I can be assured of, is that all those people making these statements don't have the facts, because you haven't shown me anywhere where the president has received the crocodile as a gift. So I cannot go into detail of this. I don't have the information.
Fantastic. We're with Dr. Ismaila Ceesay. He's the Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services. So that was the first update. More updates?
Actually, the other updates are UNICEF at 60. The Gambia honors UNICEF at 60 yesterday. This is an enduring partnership advancing child welfare. His Excellency the Vice President, Mohamed B.S. Jallow, led the national celebrations, marking 60 years of partnership with UNICEF on November 17. Now, the Vice President described the relationship as a diamond partnership.
Diamond?
Yes, that has strengthened progress in healthcare, education, justice, and child protection. VP Jallow highlighted major national gains from universal vaccination to digital learning and strengthened child protection systems. He reaffirmed government's commitment to collaborate with UNICEF on emerging challenges like climate change, nutrition, safe water, and inclusive education. He emphasized that investing in children remains the foundation of the Gambia's future and remains also the priority of the government of the Republic of the Gambia under the leadership of His Excellency Adam Barrow. That is why he's building on average 10 classrooms a week to ensure that every child, whether you are born in Bolibanna or Bijilo.
Why do you like to always start with Bolibanna?
It's the last village of the Gambia. That's the last village of the country.
Okay.
Sichadbi.
Bolibanna. Okay, all right.
Whether you are born in Bolibanna or Bijilo, that you have the same access to the same opportunities so you can live a dignified life in your country. For the president, he asked this fundamental question: why should a child born in Bijilo so life chances be more advantageous to a child born in Sibito, in Kabada, for example? Why? And they are all living within the same jurisdiction, within the same country, being governed by the same government. Why would a child born in the Combos have more opportunities than a child born in Fonyi, for example? The president wants to remove that dichotomy of rural-urban, that dichotomy of social class. He wants to ensure that every Gambian child, no matter where you are born, you have the same opportunities to be able to go and make it in life. And our partnership with UNICEF sometimes signifies and symbolizes that, to ensure that we provide education for our children. Now, apart from that, finally, there are many, but I think I'll just stop at the COP, which is important. Gambia is participating in high-level COP 30 in Belém, Brazil. Minister John Manjan delivered the Gambia's national position on climate. You know, climate change is an emerging issue, and Gambia is a leader in this, stressing equity, cooperation, and global solidarity. Now, she underscored that although the Gambia contributes minimally to global emissions because of our industrial emissions are very low, we face severe climate vulnerabilities. And like I said, climate change is in our borders. Global emissions can have impact on Gambia, and we've seen what is happening with the floods and so on and so forth. Now, the minister highlighted national commitments, including a 49.7% emission reduction by 2030. That's our commitment, and a net zero pathway by 2050. Now, she called for three things: increased grant-based adaptation finance, full operationalization of the global goal on adaptation, and stronger support to the loss and damage fund. She affirmed the Gambia's readiness to collaborate toward a balanced and ambitious global climate outcome. So these are updates. There are more updates, but I think these are the most important ones that we think the public should know.
Okay, and today we're really pressed for time. In another 10 minutes or so, we'll be saying farewell. Let me bring you a few text messages that have come in. Hi, Peter. Can you ask the minister what plans this government has for the Nusrat-Bundung road that connects the Bundung hospital? This road is strategic for referrals but has been in ruins for a long time. This road, if done, can save a lot of lives.
Yes, we will construct the roads. Like I said, the government has constructed over 1,000 300 kilometers of roads in just less than a couple of years. We are commissioning another 300 to 500 kilometers of roads. Bundung, you remember the main Bundung road was in tatters. We've built it. The Safidin road, we've built it. Now you are benefiting from it, Peter, because that's your jurisdiction.
Why do you have to single me out?
We've built the Sukuta Bruford roads. We've built many roads. It will come. It's part of the plan. So we have plans to build those roads. Like I said, with His Excellency the President, that is why I always emphasize that every Gambian should make it a duty, a jihad, to ensure the President is re-elected in 2026. To continue
a jihad?
Yeah. To continue.
Is jihad not meant to be religious?
No, I mean it depends on the context and the time you use it. Jihad.
You can use jihad
of course, you don't have
for
to
the re-election campaign.
Jihad means that you make it a point of duty. You make it a duty whereby you make it happen.
A crusade.
It's something that a crusade to make sure that not jihad in the times of the.
Okay. Thanks for clearing.
In that sense, yes. So I think we need to ensure the President wins this election because he needs to continue the plans he started. He needs to continue the work he started. He's building roads. Like I said, the President has 3 I's as his priority: infrastructure, institutions, instruments. That is why the amount of
infrastructure,
institutions,
I can understand. Instruments?
These are the regulations and laws. The amount of regulations and policies we've passed as a government within 7 years is unmatched. Because when we came, we realized there are serious gaps in our legal instruments, in our policy instruments. Some of them are outdated. Some of them were as old as during the colonial period, and therefore they are not fit for the context of the 21st century. That's why we are changing them.
Still in the books
we are changing
from
them.
the colonial times.
That's what I'm saying. We are changing most of them. If you look at our balance sheet in terms of what we've done in terms of regulations, in terms of policies, new policies, modern, innovative policies since we came to power is a lot. In fact, I'm trying to collect that data to make that comparison between how many policies and regulations and laws we've passed, legislation, since President Barrow came to power, to compare it to what used to be there before. So infrastructure, the President believes that is the foundation of any development, and he's right.
Okay.
Particular road infrastructure. So I rest assured to the texter that the road will be fixed.
All right. This person doesn't like what you said about Talib. Good morning, Uncle Peter. The minister's comment suggesting that the Talib presidency would only benefit his family is nothing more than a political rhetoric. Talib has served as mayor for almost 10 years. That is a long enough period for anybody to expose wrongdoing, favoritism, or misuse of office. And yet, in all that time, there has been no evidence, none of his family or close associates being inserted into council affairs or benefiting from his leadership. His record is clean, and the LGC evidences are out there and speak for themselves.
It's false. I mean, the LGC...
Everything he says is false?
Of course, local government commission has shown him, even though I cannot go into the detail of it because its investigations are, the report is not out yet. There has been some allegations of nepotism where people close to him are brought into the council in a manner in which it didn't follow due process. I cannot go into details for that because the report is to be out. But again, like I said, he said 10 years. It's 10 years of failure. I mean, if I was given one of the most fiscally buoyant councils to run, municipalities to run in the Gambia like I would. I mean, anybody could have done much more than he did. Like I said, nobody can pinpoint to me exactly what he has done to transform KM in 10 years.
He says you've been stonewalling all his efforts. He wanted to bring affordable housing. You people made sure that, even land that belongs to the council, you wouldn't let him have the documents.
Peter.
He tried to build 10 roads, new roads, construct 10 new roads for the people of, I call them the great people of Kanifing municipality, and you people again.
No, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. You can blame people for your failure. We are good at that. Everybody's good at that. When you fail, you say, oh, it's Peter that makes me fail. When you wake up in the morning, I'm not the pass. Peter Gomez the pass. It's easy for you to say it. Let me tell you something, Peter. The government, and we've discussed this at the highest level, that we want to support all councils and municipalities because we believe that whatever development they bring to the people is to the benefit of the people. So we would not stand in any way or inhibit the progress of any council or municipality. They cannot blame us for their failures. You're talking about housing, urban transport. Listen, Peter, please. Those are dreams.
They are doable, and he was going to implement all of them.
They never had plans to do it. All they were doing is PR and politics. That is, let us come with a high-profile project and PR it, and then we say it's government that is blocking us. It's easy to do, Peter.
Okay. Good morning, Uncle Peter. Honorable Minister Ceesay is doing his job very well. Please ask Dr. Ceesay whether the President will visit Makumbaya during this tour. The road construction is progressing well. The people are really appreciative of this long dream come true.
Well, I believe so. I'm not sure. I'll have to check the schedule. If not, I'll find out. And I think it would be good for the President to visit there. I'm not sure if it's in the schedule, but I'll find out. I'm not sure.
Somebody is talking about, well, this year it's a crocodile. He says 2 years ago it was a hippo. So if he is giving a crocodile this year, it shows that he is not committed to the Banjul Declaration.
But like I said, did you see him receive the crocodile?
No.
Exactly.
So
like I said, Peter, the President is committed to the Banjul Declaration, committed to all wildlife and conservation laws of the country. The President thinks green, and the President respects all the laws of this country, and he wouldn't do anything to violate the laws.
Hi, good morning. Please ask the Information Minister about the radio license of KMC. KMC apparently still unable to get a license to come on air on FM, and they are broadcasting, but they're only broadcasting.
I'll answer that, but before that, I've got support from Chief of Staff. He said the budget line, 52 million, is for provincial visits, including meet the people to all presidential outings inclusive. Emergencies is factored and budgeted in this 52 million. So let the
Alaji Mott. Thanks for supporting Dr. Ceesay.
So again, he said the radio license for KM. Look, we have a problem. Our spectrum is inundated. We have limited spectrum remaining. When I took over the ministry, there was a moratorium on the issuance of radio license.
Yes.
It was a total moratorium. It means nobody could get a license, whether community radio or commercial radio. And when I came and did an assessment, I realized that urban Gambia is inundated with radio stations.
Saturated,
it's saturated. It's saturated. And because of that, but rural Gambia is not having many radios, and information access to it is a right for every Gambian, but no matter where you live. And I now came up with a cabinet paper, which I took to cabinet, to conditionally lift the moratorium. And the condition is that, one, you must have the capacity to do nationwide coverage, or you must be able to provide a service to a rural community. At least through that, we can have an equitable access to information. Now, because of the saturated nature of urban Gambia, we cannot currently give, because there is no spectrum remaining. So what will there be jamming? There will be jamming in interference in the frequencies. So for now, that is the situation. Until we implement the Digital Gambia Limited project, which is we go to digital broadcasting, which will free up spectrum. For now, this is the situation. We've conditionally lifted the moratorium. But if you want to have a radio station, you must show the capacity to do nationwide coverage, to serve rural communities, or to do a community radio in rural Gambia. But for urban Gambia, currently there is no spectrum that is freed up, so we cannot give license for that. This has nothing to do with the so-called KM radio. Nothing at all, absolutely.
What if Bakari Baju were to become the mayor of KM? Would he be given a license to operate?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to 2 weeks ago when you were here and we were talking about replacing Barrow with the wrong people, and the issue of Senegal came up. There's been a lot of pushback.